Well, you guys know what needs to happen. Got a few more frame breaks left to fix and then get the tires done, so guess there's no point in doing a big old long introduction. We'll get right into her. I'm getting really tired of cutting welds already. Son of a bitch. Okay, hopefully she wants to let loose. The weld up here was actually popping on its own as I was cutting it, so here's hoping. It's trying to. Corner. There. You just get it start to roll. I got it scored good enough at the bottom, it should break. Maybe if I start off with a thinner chisel, try it again with a smaller chisel. Oh, and that's why you wear safety glasses while you're using chisels. Where did it go? And that's also why when I'm doing shit like this, I wear a welding glove. Nobody likes busted up hands. It's always nice when it changes tone from rock solid to soft. Damn you. This does not want to go. There we got her. Oh, well, that's interesting. They didn't crack this one up the back. They just cracked it right there. I'll be damned. I really wish I could have seen what they did to this thing, because it had to have been wild. And they scabbed some weld in right there. And I think they scabbed some weld in right there. So they must have broke this and twisted it somehow, but the front weld's never been broke. But it doesn't look like the back weld's been broke, unless they took the time to paint it when they redid it. But they clearly at some point ripped this center box out, because that's all goober welded in. Well, I guess clean this up and get my angle iron cut and do this, or do the same thing here that I did over there on that side. And that one's done. And while I was working on that, I don't know how I walked past here and noticed that there was a crack right here. So I gouged that out real deep and welded it and ground it back off flat. So obviously you can tell now because it's shiny, but you won't be able to tell later. I don't know what I want to do to fix the shit show they got going on here. You damn near gonna have to cut that center box out and start over again, because they got so much. I mean, they just piled that weld in there. It's stupid. Like, it ain't doing a shitting bit of good. It's weld on top of weld. So I think about all I'm gonna do here, which is gonna be fun because they welded it here and here. I think I might just take the torch and whack this off right here and just get rid of that dork because it ain't doing anything. And do that on both sides so it's not so blatantly obvious that there's a hack job there. There's just no good way to band-aid that without physically cutting that whole center box out and starting over again. There's just no good way to do it. So I think that's my best route to at least just clean it up a little bit, is just cut that extra shit out of there that they have on both sides. And do that, and it'll just leave this guy to take care of that's needing fixed because it's cracking again. But that ain't gonna be too bad of a deal. So anyway, I'm gonna get those cut out real quick and then we'll tackle this. I got, what time is it? Almost 10 o'clock. I gotta leave here about 11:30 to go home and eat lunch because I gotta leave home about 12:30 to get to work on time. So it's the worst part about well, I guess it sucks about second and third shift. You gotta like stop right in the middle of a project and put shit away to head to work. You can't, yeah. It's unhandy, but better than dealing with managers all day on first shift. So anyway, get your torch out and get them things whacked out of there. Now, I could be wrong because I'm no expert on silage equipment, but if you add another 4 inches onto that thing like they're still stuck under that box tube, that looks an awful lot like an old blade out of a silage blower. But I could be wrong. Maybe somebody that's been around livestock equipment will know. Just a guess. You get them out of there, it looks a little better though. You still got that big old ugly ass weld on both sides. But, and I couldn't get in there with a grinder real well to clean the old weld out, but did the best we could with what we got for now. It's gonna be one hell of a project to fix those things right. They are worse than I thought they were. But anyway, with that, the last little bit of welding we got to do on the frame is to fix this guy. And I almost think I'm going to have to bring the fork truck up and pick this thing up on its ass, so that I'm not trying to weld upside down and I could actually see what's going on, because this is going to be a fun one to fix. But I can at least get all the shit cut off and get it prepped, sitting like it is, so it's not in the air any longer than it has to be. So have at it with a grinder again. Well, I got that gaudy ass hunk of strap iron off there and got the crack cut out and gouged this weld out they had here. Originally that weld, because this side is all still factory, that weld was never there. They just left it open like that and they welded the top and the bottom. But it appears that that crack came up around the corner, and that's what it did, is followed that line up. So I'm gonna weld that back solid just because it needs to be there to help support that crack. And the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a piece of flat stock to bridge that and drill that hole in it. And we'll buzz it in on all four sides. So should be good after that. Also, this channel's got a little bit of a twist in it. They didn't weld it back straight, so I gotta probably have to put a porta power on it so that I don't have a clamp in the way while I'm welding, and push that bottom edge over a little bit and get this back in line, 'cause that hole's a little oblong. So you can actually kind of see a little bit of a twist if you sight down it. But that's probably going to be a job for tomorrow, because I got to get the dog taken care of and get the floor cleaned up and get ready to go to work. So we'll catch you guys on that tomorrow morning. Here's your daily dose of Teeter Pup. I just woke her up from a nap, so she's a little slow. What you think, girl? Teeter. What you think? Did you just pee in the shop? At least it's better than in the house, but we got to break you of that crap. Anyway, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, so I came in on top of that crack and I gouged it out with the ball burr again, and welded that shut, and then welded that gap shut again, because I don't want this thing moving when I go to pick it up. And then once I get it picked up, I'll go in the bottom side of that crack, gouge it out, weld it shut, grind it off flat. And then I made a spanner block that'll go, obviously it'll be on the bottom side, but it'll lay in there like that. Weld all four sides of it. It's got the hole in it to match the hole in the frame, and should be good. So I got the forklift warming up. Should be good to bring up here. So we'll get her picked up and get the underside welded, and all the dirty shit will be done. We can move on to the tars. And got her up in the air all right. Went better than I expected. That crack, or this side of the hole, filled in pretty damn good from the top. This side not so much, so I gouged it out. We'll weld that crack shut, grind it off flush so that the block will lay flat, and then, yeah. You gotta make sure you get the crack filled up before you bridge it, because otherwise the crack's still there and it's still a weak point. So hopefully you can see. I don't know if I'm standing in the way or not. hate welding upside down. It always does that. And there's that. I don't think it's going nowhere. It pissed me off. I got a little porosity in it right there because I hit part of the original weld, and that apparently there was some slag or some shit in it and it blew up. But I almost thought about trying to fix it, but you go to try to fix porosity, and unless you just grind out the whole weld and try to lay new in there, it never turns out good, and it doesn't look worth the shit, and it's not super duper bad, so I think we'll be all right. But anyway, get her back down on the stands. I think we're done doing the iron working for now. Or are we? Is that a crack? I think that's a crack. That's a crack. Well, I guess I'm going to grind that off and gouge it out and weld it shut real quick. Ooh, that looks bad. I welded that one upside down. I knew it wasn't going to be pretty, but that's the first I'm seeing it, and that looks bad. But I'm not even going to plate that. I'm just going to gouge it, weld it shut, call it good. Might gouge some of this out and weld it since it's up in the air. Make it look a little nicer. Glad I got it up here because I've never seen that. It's weird that they cracked it here and here, but didn't crack it all the way across here. It's only cracked it right there. Interesting. Well, got the old hydraulic bead breaker going. It's a nice little machine, but she is not a cold weather starter, I tell you what. It's gotten better. I went through and serviced it last month, changed the hydraulic oil, changed all the filters, changed the engine oil, which is a good thing I did because the hydraulic oil was about 50% water. And the engine oil came out looking like tar. I thought Dad had serviced it, but he didn't, so. But we got that done. The only thing left we gotta do is there's a couple hydraulic hoses leaking in the knuckle where it pivots right there on the front of the frame. But anyway, see if we can't bust some tires down. Can you see from there? Oh yeah. Well, got the tires off. The rims aren't too terrible, but they are bad enough that I don't want to slap new tires on there with them looking like that. So I'm going to wire brush the inside of the rim and shoot some primer on there so that we don't hurt the bead on the tire and don't tear up the tubes with them flexing on top of that rust. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and do that. By that time it'll be ready for me to leave for work. So I guess we'll get the tires mounted up tomorrow and get this thing the hell out of here. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, let's see if we can't finally get this damn project finished up today. So, you're kind of pointing down a little bit, eh? I called Shoot yesterday while I was on break at work. See what was going on with my disc blades. Because when I ordered them and they told me they were on back order, they said, well, the manufacturer tells us they should be here in 3 weeks. Which 3 weeks would have put it at Friday. This last Friday. So I was like, well, I ain't heard nothing out of them. I'll call them and see what's going on, because obviously yesterday was Tuesday. See if I was going to be seeing them today or not. Called them up and they said, well, now they're saying they're going to be 2 more weeks out. Well, shit. So I got off the phone with them. I'm thinking, well, because I was trying to figure out where the hell else I could get disc blades from. Well, I thought about Sloan Express. Which, there's the only reason that I use Shoop so much is A, they have free shipping on anything over $200. So I know a bunch of guys that even if whatever they got ordered from Shoop is $20, they'll order another $180 worth of shit just to get the free shipping. But and they're closer than Sloan, so normally when I order stuff from Shoop, I usually have it the next day if I order it before 5 o'clock our time. So, I called up, or got on Sloan's website, see what they had for blades, and somehow they are actually $8 a blade cheaper. So, that being said, the ones that Shoot sells are made in, they say North America, so I'm assuming that means Canada. They're probably, now what brand do they sell that's Canadian? Ingersoll, I think. They could be made in the United States, but when they just say North America, I tend to think they're Canadian. But, you're gonna be a little booger, ain't you? So I got the number off the website, or got the part number off their website, called Sloan up. They got 150 or 100. They just say they got enough in stock. So later today, when I get done working in the shop here and everybody is open, oh, I know what I normally do. I am unfortunately going to have to call Shoop and cancel my order with them. And I'm going to get on the phone with Sloan and tell them to get me some blades coming because I'm tired of waiting. Because I kind of like to have that disc built or disc rebuilt before I need it. That ain't right. How the hell do I normally do these ones that fight me? Is it these? Might be these. I knew these tires were going to be kind of fun because they stored them, apparently stored them stacked and they fucking collapsed. I hate it when they do that. Store tires standing up. That way they don't do that shit. Once you get the first bead on, you're golden. But getting that first bead to start can generally be a fucking issue. One of these days, I'm going to be at an auction, and there's going to be a good swing arm tire machine that's going to go cheap, and I'm going to buy that damn thing. Well, we might be going, we might be doing something here. There we got her going. It's all just a matter of finding the right way to position yourself. Okay, there's one. Well, I have looked all over the damn place and I cannot find the valve stem tool, so I guess I'm going to have to use this guy. That kind of pisses me off. I used it yesterday to pull a valve stem out of one of these things that was still inflated. And I cannot for the life of me find it now. That's going to make me kind of angry if that disappeared. But now for the fun part, since these things are all nice and collapsed on me.
Get your drink. Come on. Come see Ethan.
What the hell?
Come here, Monster. Ta-da.
No,
no. She's licking that.
Well, it's just soap. It ain't gonna hurt her.
Oh, okay.
It ain't gonna taste very good, but it ain't gonna hurt her.
Come on. No, don't
Hey,
lick that.
get out of there. Maybe it does taste good.
You get sick, I don't know why.
Puppy things. All right. One more time. That went quick. £30 ought to be plenty, I'd think. Give her a little bit more. It's not quite 30. And there we go. That's one done. Well, there she be. Tell you what, you can throw new rubber underneath a pile of dog shit and then make it look halfway decent. It's amazing what new tires will do for a piece of equipment, even if there ain't a stick of paint on it. But anyway, one more piece of equipment ready for the field. Now I just need to get these disc blades sorted out so we can get that project rolling. The only other tractor I got to get worked on is the white. I think I got all the parts around for that. It's just a matter of getting my buddy getting room in his shop so I can get it in. Should only need a day on that, maybe 2, depending on how bad that shaft wants to fight me. So, got a couple bearings to change on the planter. Got to fix the acre counter on the grain drill. And other than that, really don't have a whole lot left to work on before spring, surprisingly. So we're looking, I think we're in pretty decent shape overall. But anyway, I guess, go get the forklift warming up so I can get this damn thing out of here so Dad can have his garage spot back. And I guess we will catch you guys on the next one. Quick update. I found the damn valve stem tool after I don't need it anymore. It got thrown in the Allen wrench door instead of the air tool drawer. Son of a bitch.